Welcome to the Agentic Edge, where we explore how AI is reshaping leadership, strategy, and the workforce. Today's episode, Empowering the Agentic Workforce, is designed for executive leaders navigating the intersection between AI and organizational transformation. I'm joined by Marthle, a specialist in organizational and workforce strategy. Let's dive into what boardrooms need to know now. Marthle, CEOs are asking us, tell us about agentic AI and how augmented intelligence is reshaping and fundamentally shifting an organization.
Yes, Ryan, if you think about how the internet revolutionized how we communicate, our access to information, commerce, AI agents is expected to fundamentally reshape how we collaborate, how we interact, and how we deliver our work. AI agents are independent, autonomous workers that can deliver specific outcomes. They learn from those outcomes and they can be used across different functions. So you can imagine it is not just a tech upgrade, it is a strategic inflection point. It will redefine how we collaborate, how teams are structured, and how decisions are made. So, in summary, it is the fusion of two capabilities where human ingenuity and creativity, together with AI fundamentals and functionality, comes together to create an outcome that not either one of the two could have done on their own. And if you use that correctly, CEOs realize today that they will have to rethink their competitive advantage, how their operating model is shaped in context of combined teams, but also how their organizations are structured.
It is indeed a fundamental change. I can imagine a chief people officers will have a key role to play. How does augmented intelligence impact on talent strategy and workforce design?
To rethink your workforce strategy in light of how combined teams and agentic workforce can be used is quite a leap for several organizations today. And the chief people officer is going to be the coordinating factor in this entire transitioning process. Augmented intelligence will demand a new talent model and a shift away from your traditional talent model. If you think about the ability that agentic workforce can give to your team, it will require you to think differently about your competencies, about how talent and where talent is sourced from, but also career paths, specifically when AI is starting to take over the fundamental activities and allow and elevate human beings to take on more of the strategic activities. So CPOs, chief people officers, will have to redesign work and workforce, making space for combined teams, and also think about new jobs that is needed in order to manage these combined teams effectively. If you, for instance, think about an AI workflow architect, will be an individual that will orchestrate the flow of work between humans and bots. And all of that is going to transform single human teams to combined AI agentic workforce teams. And chief people officers will have to manage that transitioning going forward.
In response to what you just said, PwC's 2025 predictions show a rapid uptake of AI. What uh, sh- uh, what should executives prioritize?
The first thing is to understand what benefit the agentic workforce can actually bring to organizations. And I want to name but just a few. The one is it gives an organization the ability to very quickly replicate quite mature, complex capabilities, business capabilities. The second is that it allows you with your digital workforce to double your workforce and to double your ability to deliver on value. And those are two massive considerations for organizations going forward. The mindset, however, is critical and important. And therefore, I would say things for organizations to focus on first is number one, your digital governance. So, Working with combined teams or agentic workforce is going to have to happen in a new governance framework. Bots will have to be managed and they will have to be given performance metrics. In future, you will definitely get a bot manager that will focus on the management of defective bots, but it will also require them to act within particular ethical boundaries, and that needs to be managed quite carefully. The second one is the agility of your workforce. Because organizations now have the ability to deliver work faster and to shift resource pools to where the demand is, your workforce will have to come ever more so agile. And then, as I've mentioned, the last one, but it's actually a big one, is that mindset shift. At the moment, the technology is not the hampering factor. It is the mindset of people rejecting or fearing and bringing AI agents into the workforce. But it's really for human capital leaders now, the chief people officers and their teams, to help create a culture that will see AI as a collaborator and not as a threat.
I can see a significant risk for organizations who do not act now. What's the impact of delay?
Strategic irrelevance. It is absolutely as simple as that. If you only use AI and agentic workforce, augmented intelligence as an overlay on top of your current legacy systems, organizations that really redesign their work bottom up will outpace you quite quickly. Therefore, you need to understand that chief people officers, CEOs, and other executive teams will have to focus on understanding the AI value pools in your organization and how to get from that teams or combined teams, the definition of combined teams that truly add the value that your customers nowadays want. If you do not do that, you are going to miss out on the opportunity of increased productivity, faster innovation, but you may also run the risk of having misaligned talent pools, and that will set you back quite a bit.
How should executives think about leadership in this new era?
Command and control leadership styles is long gone, but we are adding a new element to leadership qualities needed for today, and that is the one of orchestration. It is the ability to seamlessly orchestrate workflow between AI agents and human beings and make that work for the business and for the career of the individual. And therefore, it is the trust that leaders can portray the role modeling of the enthusiasm in which AI and agentic workforce is embraced that is going to be leadership's key responsibility. I've mentioned that within the HR space, it is going to be about creating that culture of embracing it, but it is also going to create a platform for people where you reinvent your own capability and allow your teams to reinvent their own capability in order to bring the best out of your AI team member.
Final thoughts? What's one action that executives should take this quarter?
I'm going to add a few sub actions to that one action. I would say it always starts with your strategy. Always keep your strategy in mind, but look at your strategy from the lens of an agentic workforce and see how you can reorganize your business practices to bring that more to the fore. That is going to force you to restructure work, especially if you start to look at your value chains and key business processes and understand the pockets of combined teams that you can include. But it also is going to be about helping people to reinvent themselves in the context of combined teams. And then it is to put responsible AI into those business practices. Cross-functional teams, putting these tasks together, HR, IT, strategy working together, that's going to be fundamental enablers going forward.
Any closing comments?
I would say your AI strategy can either contribute to your competitive edge or it can make it very hard for you to ever catch up.
Thank you, Marthle. For executive leaders, the agentic workforce isn't a future concept, it's a present imperative. In our next episode, we explore how HR must evolve to lead this transformation. Join us for Workforce Rewired, collaboration and creativity within AI teams.